Welcome back to the 10th year of the LCS and the second lock-in tournament. We've got the quarterfinals. Match number 3 underway. Evil Geniuses have been absolutely destroying Golden Guardians. It was an okay start. Golden Guardians got first blood. They had some nice plays, but from about 9 minutes onwards, EG took control of the game and absolutely never let up. The gold graph went up and to the right the whole time, and the Nexus fell.
And I just really liked how proactive they were with the ultimates. Pretty much every time TF Ultimate was available, boom, you're looking for a play. Inspired was constantly taking away buffs. You know, not only did they force out the Flash level 1 and steal the red buff, then he took the next red buff. Then he took the next spawn of the blue. And he's just constantly in the face of his opponents and got so far up in gold that, yes, this champion doesn't scale incredibly well. You're playing against Victor and Jinx and Vlad. But who cares? Because you're a full item ahead at all times. He was out farming marksman for a lot of the game as a jungler, which is just not something you see every day.
Yeah, not at 50 minutes when it's like, oh, I have 170 CS at 19 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, you don't see 8.5 CS a minute on a jungler very often. Like, that is a really, really, really high mark. I mean, it's more than I think your jungler can even support. In the first place, you have to be poaching camps or lanes or both or whatever. But now we are on the Rift for Game 2, and Golden Guardians gets to reset and try again. Once again, their early game was fine. Iconic got set behind, and yet they still found pressure, and they found a kill, but it was the mid game that fell apart, and the scaling went from there. So will it be a different look? Less towards the hard scaling. We'll see what it comes into. Olaf going to be on the ban list. Renekton's still gone.
Also curious if TF is going to be left up again here. There's something that gets banned a lot. Obviously, Jojopian had a great game on it, so that can be pretty threatening.
Yep. To talk about priority champions, Renekton, Diana, Corki were the Golden Guardians bans. They've already dropped one to put the Olaf on the docket. On the other side, Karma, Thresh, Caitlyn were what EG feared. And as the Corki and the Caitlyn come through, some of that still pulled through. But yes, GG gonna drop 2 of their bans. The Corki got picked up by the EG side, but this Diana still left up they consider valuable.
I mean, Inspired and Jojopian were kind of the core of that composition. That was kind of what it was built around, moving around the map, taking away jungle camps. They ban out both those champions that caused them a lot of problems. But does mean LeBlanc is available as a big priority pick. Obviously, things like the Xin is up. We have Jinx available, so there's a lot of options here.
Diana and Karma, the 2 unbanned champions from the banned, now unbanned champs from the previous draft, meaning, we see the Diana first pick. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Karma grabbed here, as that was one the EG feared. It was their first banned blue side, and then given the option to grab it here and take it away, maybe we see something like a, Jinx Karma if that is the look. Obviously, Aphelios has been highly prized here as well. We'll see what the draft actually looks like, but we know it's one that they are concerned about.
Yep, and Diana has a very high win rate in competitive. I checked in on that the other day, and it was up well above 60%, so doing really well. One of the common pairings we actually saw, FlyQuest try to do this was with the Yasuo. That game really did not work out, but that is something that you're going to have to look out for, and we'll see if EG do actually respect Ryoma's Yasuo, if they're going to try to ban it away, or if it's going to be early picked. Because that is something that most teams really want to watch out for. It's kind of the new age of the Gragas Yasuo comp that we used to see for so many years. Yeah,
it allows you to play around the Diana a lot more. Like, she actually holds up as time goes on compared to other junglers, so actually has some pretty solid late game. And yeah, as a damage threat, right? You can kind of play for her. You can, it means you probably play weak side, top side or something. Like, someone's got to sacrifice to get her, continued farm as time goes on. But of course, a worthy play. Iconic is a very farm-heavy jungler. He really is about the individual leads. So, definitely a champion that can suit him quite well. But now we got to see the rest of the draft. Golden Guardians got to lock in picks 2 and 3 here. Karma, again, still maybe the most highly prized support in, I think, North America and Korea combined. Ezreal locked in, and now
it pairs super well with Ezreal. That is one of the lanes where, this turns Ezreal from the my support's going to roam, and I'm going to sit back and farm with Qs, to we're actually going to push you in, we're going to poke you out, we're going to try to dominate lane. You can go aggressive with Comet on the Karma and really try to punish a lot of these scaling marksmen.
Yeah, and one of the big things about skill shot supports, like a Karma or a Blitzcrank or an Ezreal, it's not that, like, in really high elo people are really good at sidestepping. Yeah, sure, they are to a certain degree, but the primary way you play around skill shot supports is playing behind your minions. The counterplay to Ezreal is play behind your minions. The counterplay to Karma is don't play next to your minions, because she Qs both of you. She gets the wave pushed and hits you. Well, what do I do then? You can try to keep dancing around the wave and play diagonally to Ezreal, but that gets really tough really quickly.
And you lose push oftentimes then, because you're fiddling around too much with that.
Exactly. And then when they push, you're on a tower with no wave. and what blocks for you.
Yep.
Ezreal autos a turret, throws a Q, backs up if it hits. Autos a turret, throws a Q, backs up if it hits.
Yep.
What do you do about that?
And it's so easy to hit skill shots on champions that are trying to farm under tower because it's so choreographed. You know when they have to shoot their auto attack out to last hit this minion. You can see where they are. They have to sit still. So you either give up farm or you get the farm and you tank the poke. And it can get difficult. Yep. Obviously, Lulu's job here is going to be able to time those shields, try to absorb a lot of that poke. Yep. And this is incredible scaling on their side. It's something that answers really well into the Diana as well. Polymorph very strong against Diana, these kind of squishy champions that want to have a lot of front load burst. If you can get a Polymorph off early, you can sometimes just 100-0 champs like that. And pretty good peel for the Jinx, obviously, with the shields, with the wild growth. Bans coming through here. The Yasuo is going to be banned away, so no opportunity for Ioma to bring that out. LeBlanc going to be banned. Tryndamere also banned. It's another pick from JoJo that he has brought out. They are willing to play this mid-lane Tryndamere style, so a lot of focus on JoJo Pion on one side, focus a little bit more split on the other, taking away another carry top here for Tony, an AD to complement that AP jungler, because traditionally we are seeing a lot of double AP solo lanes. Golden Guardians bringing AP jungler means they at least need an AD mid laner or a top laner, or it's just going to be way too easy to itemize.
Yeah.
So, you know, they do have other options, you know, things like the Camille. You could try to go like mid lane Aurelia or something aggressive if you want. But Jace is really one of the most common ones, so denying those pairings I think is pretty smart.
Yeah, Senna I don't expect to see happen right here. I think Senna Ezreal is actually a pretty weak 2-2 overall. Yes, you could send Karma mid or whatever. You're not going to see it here. Camille does come through. There is your physical damage. Obviously part as well. And I like this. Camille Galio is a team fight starter, right? Diana Galio, a team fight starter. I do like this as a look of, hey, let's just get stuff started. Ezreal can ult over the top. He's got reach in these fights. I think the comp is actually pretty synergistic here. I like the Vlad hover for Vulcans. Like, yeah, nice job with that one last time.
What's the pick here for JoJo, though?
What's good on Galio? I can't think right away.
Marksmen are really good in Galio. Is what people were playing previously. Used to play Lucian mid and things like that, but Lucian generally isn't played, you know, without Enchanter supports now.
Ooh, we get it after all, though. We get our Lucian.
Okay, this is really interesting because Lucian's not really played in solo lanes much anymore. I'm interested what the solo queue data I see you looking up is actually showing now, because this used to be considered the kind of old counter, is that you could just blast this Galio in lane, physical damage, ignore the magic damage shield, and really kind of play that 1v1 pretty heavily. But ever since the passive changes, where Lucian's passive did a lot more damage when you get shielded or buffed up, you know, by an ally, Lucian was pushed kind of almost exclusively towards bot lane and taken out of the solo lanes pretty heavily. So it'll be interesting to see if this does work out.
Solo queue data says Galio is slightly favored in that, like, they have X power level versus Y power level, and then it goes a little bit better towards Galio because the matchup actually isn't too bad. I think some of it is Lucian's range is short enough that you just, well, now you're in taunt flash range, right? Stuff like that. That said, solo queue is not pro play, right? No. Reflexes are better, your coordination with junglers better. Things change when pro play happens.
Solo lane marksmen traditionally are lower win rate in solo queue compared to pro.
Right.
Because you really do have to walk that line. You have to harass them enough to get the most out of it, right? You have to play it aggressive. You have to really punish this guy and not get ganked while you're doing it. You can't just sit down and play a push back and forth style game as Lucian and Galio. You want to be really pushing the pace. So I'm excited to see it, because when people talk about JoJo Pion, they're always like, crazy mechanics, you know, he came from Fortnite, he's a zoomer, he's, you know, got great hands. Well, here's an opportunity to try to show that on a champion that can really showcase just how good you are individually.
Alrighty, well, on to the Rift. Let's see what we get out of this one as we get a nice early invade. Spotted by a ward, though. EG, I feel like, have done their research. We saw the level 1 in the previous game was great, bypassed the wards, forced a flash out of the Xin Zhao.
This is actually really clever, and that was Vulcan's ward. So Vulcan went bot, dropped that, recalled, picked up a sweeper. You know, that's more of the jungle move generally. Almost always you'll see supports actually sit on their warding trinket for lane. So I think the reason he's going to do this is he's going to try to play side brush, and he's going to use his sweeper to deny vision from the Karma Ezreal, because having side brush control is one of the only ways that a champion like Lulu can actually fight back against this comp. Because if you get warded out in that brush, there's just no way you're dodging enough of those skill shots to actually stay relevant. But if you can sweep out the ward, maintain control there, you can proc your spell thieves, and you can kind of keep the lane a little bit more even keeled. So it's a cool adaptation, and I'm excited to see how he's going to be able to pull it off. Ioma just kind of getting zoned away here a little bit.
I also have to correct myself. it automatically showed me bot Lucian versus mid Galio, which is really not that important. Mid Lucian slams mid Galio from solo queue data. So that's what we expected to see. Also, you mentioned kind of build optimizations. Commonly, people are going for crit builds. Gale Force Lucian is the normal build now for solo queue mid lane. So expecting that crit build to be what he goes for. And right now, though, Jinx and Lulu have the early pressure against this Karma Ezreal.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, because the last time we used to see this matchup a lot was when it was kind of lethality Lucian, where it was just you're playing around ultimate, right? And you had a lot of power with that ultimate, and obviously the slowdown on that with your items. But it is going to be a different day, and he is playing towards that call. So, you know, really just looking to have the additional sustain off the call to farm up and to really, you know, push in as hard as he can, really try to punish Ryoma as much as possible here, as Iconic just going to be farming out, has obviously been fully spotted. We'll see if Inspired wants to try to get aggressive and go for double scuttle. I feel like this is a game where you definitely can, where you have that domination in mid lane, go towards bot scuttle, take that, move up towards top, but maybe just going to actually cross map, and you can see him invading on the map right now. He's already moving in, trying to take away Raptors, and maybe just meet Diana, because they had full eyes on Diana. So he's actually just going to wait in the
Smart by Ryoma. Ryoma's coming down too. It's like, hey, we know this guy. He wants to invade. I mean, we saw this exact invade in the same matchup when it was TL playing in top lane. It's just deletion. Tony Top takes a dirt nap.
Tony Top is just getting crushed in these games so far, not having the best performance on the Vladimir, and now Impact, 3 minutes in, gets the solo kill. It's looking more like Tony Bot.
Yeah, it's a rough one here. Gets the knockup as well, so Inspired not only is taking part of the Krugs, he's forcing damage out. Or Inspired, he could try for some, even the Smite's gonna claim the big Krug. The bot lane's down here, EG having pressure in there 2-on-2 as well. Danny puts the choppers up, they're not gonna hit, but there might be enough. This could be enough, here comes the replay, and we've got a taunt on a 2. Kill number 1, kill number 2 yet again. Golden Guardians find first blood, they got 2 picked up.
That is huge, grabbing 2 kills there. With the TP from Ryoma, really nice TP. It's so rare to actually see effective early game TPs now without Unleashed Teleport, and I think they just didn't play with any respect to it. They got right in the face of Golden Guardians, but you were playing between 2 towers, so the defensive teleport there is plenty strong. Ryoma arrives, and Ezreal gets both the kills, gets a red buff. That is fantastic, because EG were actually losing the 2v2. They had been pushed in and were down on farm, and now all of a sudden, Ezreal's off to the races, so big mistake there from EG.
Yeah. Tier start Ezreal gets ahead, that's not normal. You can spam your Qs, that's great, but your combat stats are obviously much lower, but it looks really good. Obviously, yes, Impact got the actual first blood in top lane, but your gold lead is on the Golden Guardians side. Question is, can you hold on to it this time? Does the cross-map play still work? Obviously,
eyes in bot lane.
Yeah, oof. That is a nice Sheen, couple long swords. That's going to feel very nice.
I always feel like when we have the early tier Sheen, it starts to feel really tough to lane against the Ezreal. If he hits a Q or 2, it can get very, very rough, but things could be a little bit brutal up on this top side as well. I mean, the first buy for Tony is just nothing, right? He bought some more pots and he got a longsword. This is a full leeching Leer, which is where Gwen starts to really be frustrating to play against. You get a little bit of that sustain on top of the Conqueror, and when Gwen hits Mythic, she's really a different beast, so this is pretty scary.
Find the first taunt, auto, backwards E1 turret shot. Q's gonna land Ignite, almost gets the kill, but a flash to safety as summoners are traded.
Nicely done.
Yeah, that was a good combo by Ryoma. Gets a little bit of, time back to himself in this lane.
Yeah, and all he had to use was actually his Predator, right? His flashes TP were spent bot, so he just ran at him real fast. There was no boots on JoJo. He hadn't even been back to base to buy at all. So, getting both of those summoners off of JoJo for just your Predator is really, really nice. Yeah. And Ryoma off that bot lane TP, now a bit of pressure here. Going to be feeling pretty good about his situation in this game. Of course, he is down on farm quite a lot, and that is really where EG's gold lead is coming from. And they're going to keep pressing because, Inspired is not someone to sit back. But Iconic actually going tank Diana. I can't say I've seen this. I don't know if this is like the new meta, because everyone is just going chem tank on just everything and being like, well, hey, this item's overpowered. I wonder if it's good on X. Well, a tank Akali is good. Well, I've been seeing it on more and more champions. So maybe the read is, well, if it's good on Akali, it's good on Diana too. So, and you're kind of going to work more as just like a CC bot and a frontliner and an engage.
Yeah. Very limited data, but both Sunfire Aegis and Turbo Chem Tank have very high win rates. Yeah. Now, there's a lot of room for variance when you've only got 1 to 2,000 games in each Mythic.
I
but
can see it.
indicates might be worth looking at, not definitely great.
I can see it. I mean, I think if you want to just play as the setup, it's like you have got to dive in and set up Camille and Galio. If that is your read, well, then go a little bit tankier. You're not necessarily going to have the 100-0 damage, and that's maybe where the concern comes from, because I can also totally still see the argument for going full AP versus this team. There's Lucian and Jinx and Lulu. Yeah. All those champions are so squishy. If you get one good ult, they probably all just die. So it's a different look, and we'll have to see how he does with it.
Devil's advocate, getting the ult at all, they still die.
Yeah, maybe that's all
just
you need.
Just forcing it is a kill, maybe. So yeah, I think it's interesting conversation to have. And we'll see what happens. Yeah, I think it's going to be really neat. Obviously, you're against a lot of physical damage as well. Sinjai, Lucian, Jinx, pretty much exclusively physical. So as long as it's not Gwen hitting you, you can also just armor stack.
The other wrinkle I will say is that it can be really frustrating to play Assassins against Lulu. And when you know there's an exhaust Lulu, maybe you're just saying, well, my engage is going to get screwed anyway, so I'm just going to go tanky here, and I'm just going to get in there for CC, and you guys kill him.
Galio over the top. Camille over the top. Yep. Sounds good.
Can't exhaust the Galio ult.
You can't. Yeah, he's untargetable. He's going to land on you for full damage. So cool look here. I know Predator or Galio even itself is not always the pick.
Yeah.
Aftershock and other things still can work quite well, but Predator, as we saw earlier, allows him to get onto Lucian. Obviously has some value there as well. Just burned it recently, but clearly that engage didn't go quite as well, as Dojikun came out at pretty much full health, and it's Galio taking the recall. 6A still up in gold, but only 300 against Impact and Jojo, who are having pretty solid games themselves. Good farm in both cases, and obviously the first blood pretty meaningful for the top laner.
Yep. And my experience with Predator is generally that it feels like it has more value either in side lane games or early game. You know, as far as team fighting and stuff, it's just a lot less valuable.
Woo!
Oh,
he got it! He got the steal. How about the rest? Galio over the top. Good damage onto Inspired. Doesn't have a flash, shouldn't have a way out. Impact versus Tony Top on the side, though. Pretty good damage from the Gwen. Getting some healing. The ulti was late. He didn't dodge any damage, Tony Top. The mechanics are betraying him as the rocket comes across the map, but Shime should find this kill and does. Iconic, though, he's got a Herald. He's not got a lot of health bar left. Tries with the shield, does go down. 4-3 on the scoreboard. Gold lead to Evil Geniuses.
Big play, though, from Golden Guardians, able to actually steal the Herald away. They did pick it up, so not too bad at all. Danny, though, farming plates down here. Not perturbed whatsoever by the early double kill here from Stixxay. He's just pressuring him hard, shoving him in, utilizing that early attack speed that he bought up, and just trying to keep minions in between him and that Ezreal. And you clear that wave much faster than Stixxay does, so he wants the second plate.
Danny power spiked. He recalled for Noon Quiver, I think, for the sort of general the Herald play. And Stixxay is still on that double longsword tier Sheen he had from the first recall. So Stixxay's got like Manamunian base right now. If he had had it here, that was a better fight. But yeah, got pushed in for the item spike.
Here it is one more time. You can see Galio, Karma moving up on the minimap right down there. Goes in, does actually grab that away. Didn't even use a smite, just got it with the straight up base damages, the Q. And Orion not quite able to land the taunt, but it didn't matter. They push through, they get that kill. And Impact here, no dodges by Tony on that. You've got to be able to try to time it on the Q to avoid that damage. Impact had the 4-stack Q and just chops him down as soon as he does land. On the other side, Dojikun is able to pick up a kill. But definitely agree, Tony Top's mechanics have been letting him down in the Vladimir game, utilizing the pool incorrectly. Now in this one, not really able to find the plays on the Camille, at least just yet.
Yeah, you have to imagine the first blood obviously tilts the items in one direction, and then not dodging the 7 hit of the ulti. Like that is so much damage and healing because it applies the passive at full power. Like that's several hundred health difference for just that.
And it was really close.
On each champion.
It could easily have been the difference in that him getting the kill instead of Impact. So is a tough one, but now Impact is going to be significantly ahead. When he hits Riftmaker before you, you just don't get to fight anymore. Then you're just trying to pick up farm, and it's already feeling like it is at that point a little bit. Unless Ryoma can get up there, you can really turn the fight, obviously, with a roam from your mid laner or getting Diana to be up there. It is chem tank, so kind of as expected here, coming through. It's going to help with the engage, help with closing that gap, and we'll see how effective Iconic can be. It's also going to, hopefully for him, reduce his reliance on having flash, because flash engages are really a big part of Diana's play pattern. And with Chem Tank, maybe you can just find a nice Q onto a minion, E to it, Chem Tank in there, catch up, and get a decent ult.
Yeah, I think it's going to be more reliable against the Rocket Belt, but of course, Big slows like a Lulu Q will stymie you for a bit. Shime's going to find the root, force a flash out of Danny, because that would have been all of the iconic follow through. So now we have a dragon setup coming across here. Gold lead is with Evil Genius's first dragon, theirs as well. We've got a Herald in an inventory, and it could just crash bot lane right now, but they're going to try to set up for the fight. The problem is, can they even fight? Camille's walking down. Galio's on the way over as well. Does have ulti. They don't take a fight at all. They don't Herald bot lane. They don't get anything done at all. Instead, we're going to dive in and give up 2 kills. Golden Guardians, once again, do absolutely nothing but watch the objectives get taken. And it's Dixay forced to run away. EG going to win this fight. Danny going to find the zap. The rocket is flashed. Then EG walk away with it. Golden Guardians, sadly, the wrong macro call.
Yeah, so they just shouldn't have even been there, right? Tony doesn't have Unleashed TP, and Impact moved way faster, so it's not a fight that they should really be taking. They're down numbers, and now even having to blow the TP here. Impact getting aggressive on a Tony.
That's okay. Let me know, of course, Golden Guardians, it is an academy squad. This is not their intended starting roster. Tony Top's going to get out. So look, the level of play here is obviously different. EG are one of the big spenders in the LCS, one of the top 5 spending a lot, right? They bought out Vulcan from C9 or traded for him or whatever. Like, they are spending a lot to bring over the LEC MVP. The expectation is that EG's players are more experienced, better, whatever. And again, Golden Guardians are an academy team. I just want to see the sort of moderate level macro of, we're behind, we should cross map them. Like, just some of the more basic stuff. Like, that's all I'm disheartened about, is just, there were some more obvious plays that I feel like they should
continue pushing top, drop Herald bot, get some gold here. They are going topside now.
Okay, sidesteps the ulti. That's the setup you want to see. He survives the ignite. Thank you very much. Well played, Golden Guardians. One back on the board.
Yep, they get a kill up on topside. Going to be able to push this in, likely grab a plate. So nice play from them. But I agree. You know, you expect them to get out executed, but it is one of those macro plays that you want to see them really nail. And I mean, they knew that they were down numbers, but it feels like it's one of those plays where you're feeling a little bit desperate. You feel that you need to get something done. And oftentimes in those cases, you just end up losing out even more. But Ryoma having a great game, I've got to say. You know, he gets counterpicked here with the Lucian, but he finds the early TP bot, getting them a couple kills. You know, he had the effective all topside now, getting another kill up there. Ryoma looking good, and they do have some side lane scaling here with the Camille. And yes, Camille is probably going to keep losing the 1v1 to Gwen because it's very behind, but you always have that X factor of Ryoma coming in, and that can maybe give them a way into this game if they can keep finding side lane kills.
Absolutely. And while this might end up being, assuming Golden Guardians don't come back, the last LCS game where Ryoma we see for a while, because I expect the main team to start playing in the opening weekend, Realma's looked actually pretty good during lockdown.
He has looked really good.
Right, Golden Guardians went 1-3 in the group stage. Realma was like good in all 6 games really so far. Like, I think his Victor was solid. He had good damage output. I think he topped the team in game 1 of the series. And yeah, he got counterpicked and is up 1 KP. Yeah, he's down CS, it's counterpick lane, but like, is getting stuff done. Like, I want to say, like, Realma, who's had a very rocky LCS career, has looked really good so far in 2022.
And he's always been very good in Academy. You know, it's just kind of been bridging that gap for him that has been difficult. But yeah, I mean, he got a solo kill, at least one, you know, throughout lock-in as well. I think it was on Tukoi, if I can recall correctly. It was him or Blue, I can't quite remember. But, you know, has had some really good performances. And obviously, you know, Golden Guardians does have some veterans on their team as well. You know, Stixay has been around for a long time in the competitive scene. You know, yeah, he's an MSI finalist. He has won the LCS, so... they do have some guys with experience here, but obviously trying to build around some of these newer players as well.
Yeah. I mean, Tony Top's career started last year in Academy, right? He's got a year and change of his entire career. And yeah, it's been a rough road here today, but he's a newcomer, right? Like, give him time, and then we'll see it move forward. Top Herald Crash comes in. Second Herald, of course, grabbed this time, not stolen away, so Evil Geniuses claim their second turret of the game as they make this one come through. Keep the 1,200 gold lead, and they'll get that crash on top side. So there you go.
And you've got to say, Inspired not having the best game, you know, compared to what we're expecting from him, right?
Right.
You know, they did have that really aggressive play early on that got punished very hard on bot side. Since then, it's just been kind of farming even against Diana, right? He hasn't been ahead of the pace of the game. Compositionally, you can definitely see Golden Guardians winning this. So as much as it's easy to kind of just count them out because it is EG and because they have been very dominant, it's a full LCS roster here. Golden Guardians are making him work for it in this one, and we'll see if they can execute well at potentially this next Dragon fight, because if you can get into the backline onto people like Jojo or Danny, get an initial kill with the Diana plus Galio plus Camille diving in there, the fight really can start to go your way.
Let's look for it. Styx Ezreal has had some truly legendary performances, even on the international stage, so sometimes you see outstanding things. I'm personally still Stixay believer. I think he's actually a great player, big fan of his. So I want to see if he can kind of put the carry pants here. Right now, sidestepping some Lucian damage, and we got a TP in the mid lane. Next Dragon's up in 20 seconds, would put EG at soul point. Golden Guardians, looks like they are willing to fight for it.
Look at Ryoma on the map. He has this flank position. He's hiding right here. So if they can come in from multiple angles, you know, and try to collapse here on EG, if they overcommit towards this, 6A is mid pushing this in. But if EG check with this is going to get kind of ugly, and Impact is sussing it out. He actually spots him, so really good Sixth Sense. They had not seen Galio anywhere, and he's saying, well, where could he be? And that is veteran play from Impact. That's really smart stuff from him. He says, well, I'm not scared of face checking him. He can't 1v1 me, so I'll just walk through the brush. But Tony and Ryoma is still behind them. Can they pull off this pincer play? It's got to be well coordinated.
Tony goes in first. Jump in, they saw you. Didn't get whimsy. There's Diana on the top. They're going to pull on a several. Galio only hits one, and it doesn't kill Vulcan. Goes in for more. Big taunt, not going to find a ton. He'll go down. No, he lives. Thank you very much. Triumph, a 1 for 0 so far. Turn it back on the Diana, though. Stopwatch used for Impact, and Impact lives. Tony Top's forced to run. It is a team fight. +1 kill, and oh no, he flash ease into the rocket. Danny claims kill number 3. It was a good setup. It was a nice try, but EG run away with the team fight.
Yeah, EG, they get it all. They get the kills. They get the dragon. Likely going to take down at least the mid lane tier 1 here as well. Going to be feeling really good about their chances now, and just didn't quite have the coordination on the entrance. It was an incredible ult from Iconic, but Hookshot had already been used by Tony Top, and he's not playing Flash, so when that's on cooldown, he can't follow up, and they can't get those initial kills. The Galio comes through. They did kill off, I believe it was Vulcan pretty quick, but Jojo and Danny are really low. 6A had to flash in to try to just get that additional damage, try to finish it off, and unfortunately for them, not quite perfect on that coordination. You know, Tony starts priming this because he thinks Vulcan's going to straight up face check, but he doesn't want to go for it, and now Iconic goes in, big ulti. But imagine if Tony Top is in the back line right now with him. Instead, he gets knocked back there by Inspired, can't enter that back line. 6A, ease over the wall, trying to get in to finish them off. But Jojo and Danny are just kiting back. Inspired flashes in on the Ezreal to knock him up. They push forward, they get those kills. You got to be on the same page with these engage comps. If Camille's in the back line and those marksmen die, it's a different game.
Yeah, I think Camille, I think Tony needs to just like, hookshot onto the Lulu. I stunned you. Ult on a Jinx. Here we go. Right? And just take the button. You can't just like burn that cooldown and be like, I'm here! And then let the disengage happen.
Or the whole team has to wait. The whole team has to wait, and you can't go right then as Iconic. And you try to push them out and you try to slow play it, right? But it's got to be one or the other. It's always one of those things where it's better to make the wrong decision as an entire team than to have people on either side of it, right? And that's where you have to have really clear comms. That's where you have to have really good coordination. And that's one of those things that can look really good or it can look really bad. And unfortunately, in this case, Tony Top not really able to be involved in the fight after that initial hookshot cooldown's used.
Well, we go back on the map and we see that we are a dragon away from Soul, 3 minutes out. Ryoma still gets some time in the top lane, which is good to get his farm up. Of course, now down 70 CS under Jojo Pyun. I mean, never going to have the same wave access, you know, as a winning team Lucian. So isn't he going this way, but he'll keep trying. Obviously, again, we are going to see some armor stack out of the squad. It is really AD heavy on the EG side. Yes, Impact's doing pretty well, but it's 140 CS Gwen. Like, of all the threats, it's one of the smaller ones at this point in time. So we get to see some steel caps. Okay, great. But not a lot else right now. Even right now, Iconic going towards a sidestep to go for some Grievous wounds. Eventually, he'll get a bit more damage done, but...
Yep, and we'll see where exactly he wants to build from here. But, I mean, Danny probably going to have 2 items on his base. We already see 2 done there for Jojo Pyun. So, yeah, double items on both of these marksmen now. They're going to be feeling really good about their space in the game. With Lulu behind them, you really kind of had to hit that critical mass where you start to be really, really strong. We'll see if they can find any sort of big picks, but I think the game is going to come down likely to this next dragon. If you give over Soul to EG, it's so hard to team fight into this Chemtech Soul, because even if you get that initial kill on someone like Danny or Jojo, you have to deal with their ghost respawning and 4 more seconds of pure DPS coming out, and I can't see them winning 5v5s against this Soul whatsoever. So they're going to have to find that perfect engage, really be on top of it, coordinate as a team, or EG is just going to run you over, because in the extended fights, they have just way more DPS.
Even though you live only for about 4 seconds, even though you do 40% less damage during the zombie form, CC is still full value, and it's still more damage. You know, like a Fed Gwen doing half It's still decent
It's
damage,
still
you
enough
know?
to change the course of the
If
fight.
she gets there. Yeah, exactly. So want to point out as well, both Jinxes this series went Phantom Dancer second on their champion.
And you love that.
It is the generically ideal second item. You are not against an Ornn, you're not against a Scion, you're not against a hard tank. PD is optimal second for DPS. Like, you get the move speed for kiting, it's higher DPS. Like, that is the real build.
Ooh, Gwen's caught.
Yes, a fight in the top side. Big damage onto Impact, who cannot get away. And on the board, once again, Golden Guardians. Now, I don't think they can burn down the Baron, but they can turn back the rest of this one. Danny taking the fight with Stixxay. Tried to go for a bit of a Gale Force burst. I don't think he quite got the pellets out of the Gale Force, though.
I think it was too much to the side. I wasn't sure if he was trying to just put it the minimum amount forward to get it and not really overcommit into the brush, or if he was just using it in anticipation to dodge the next Q. It could be either or, because he kind of used it like a little sidestep.
Yeah.
But either way, Dragon is up here in 30. They do kill off Impact, but critically, Impact didn't use any cooldowns. He didn't even spend all. He's just like, all right, yep, I'm dead. But he's going to have everything available for the next fight, and he's going to have his TP. Ryoma's not going to have ulti now for this initial spawn, and I think that, yes, you've got a kill, but it actually hurts your chances in the game more than it helps, because the 300 gold doesn't matter, and you don't have your critical cooldowns for the engage on Soul Spawn.
Unless they can pick someone apart right now.
Inspired
Iconic wants in. Ezreal to the side, makes some space. Danny does not get hit with the pull, though, so Iconic gets nothing done. And in comes Inspired. 1-0 so far. Time to run away. Danny's going to be able to free hit. Stopwatch for Ryomi. He's still going to die at the end. There's no way out of this one. Slowed down by Lulu. And kills on the board. 3-0 as Impact dives in for a final kill. Totem Top is down, and Dragon Soul is going to Evil Geniuses.
Really nicely done there by EG. They TP back in here and get a good engage, but oh.
That's killable. Good move speed. Yeah, forcing the flash at a 6-say. Someone to heal for move speed as well. Does live. Shime gets a slow. Not going to mean much again. Danny! Yeah, that's going to be a kill if it crits. Oh, just unlucky there. Had a coin flip, didn't get it heads. But careful, because 60's still on the way forward. Oh, there you go.
Oh, no, the Gale Force.
There you go.
Oh, that one stings, dying to the Gale Force like that.
Yep.
He knew he had the E to react to the zap, but obviously didn't have the Gale Force cooldown timed, and that's going to finish him off. EG, they keep getting engaged on. Iconic's finding multi-man ults, but it's just not ones that the team can follow up on, or not ones that the team is really on the same page for. And whatever it is, they're just not making it work. He gets exhausted as he goes in. The marksmen then are going to go wild and fishing for something.
Okay, Impact gonna find himself rooted in place, ignited. Iconic is here. They have the damage. Q doesn't hit because he's unstoppable. And now we get to go into the melee range. Zonya's burned. This could be danger, a lot of damage, and yeah, it is just Iconic getting burned down. They get the kill, but it's a 2-for-1. Not a lot gonna happen for this zombie Gwen. Just walks to the river and dies, but +1 EG.
And no jungler. It's an easy Baron here. There's not really any ability to contest this. They do kill off Impact. You've got to take risky plays, though, when you're this far behind, so don't hate them going for it, but it will be Baron. It will be Soul. Everything now in EG's favor. 6A trying to look for the Miracle Steal, but they waited out. That's really smart.
Yeah, I think he was on a minion wave when doing it, so they're like, oh, Ezreal, okay, 2K. Impossible to steal. Chill, chill. All right, cool. Take it down. Well played.
Really well done by EG, and now it's just the finishing touches that they have to put on this series. They were the big favorites, but they have looked good doing it. Yeah. Really impressive performances, I think, pretty much across the board here from EG. And
yeah, and honestly, I was pleasantly surprised by Golden Guardians. To me, on paper, this was the least close match between the two teams. I mean, it's literally undefeated EG and a 2-2 Academy team who went 1-3 in lock-in, right?
Yep.
Their win was against another Academy team in TSM. So yeah, wasn't expecting big things, but we had the glimmers of hope, right? Like, we had some nice moves. We had early kills in the bot lane in both games here, so well done to Chime and Stixxay. I think those players are very good. I'm looking forward to their continued careers, you know, on both sides. But yes, EG, the much, much better team, comes away with the lead by 20 minutes every time.
And I like the comps. I think they took some cool swings. The Vladimir could have worked out. Obviously, it didn't quite. And I think this is a pretty cool, hard engaged style comp. But again, just not quite having that coordination. But as you say, you can see the glimpses. You can see if they could polish that up a little bit. You know, they had their opportunities in this one. But it's also been fun to see the different looks here from EG. You know, more the supportive style last game with the Senna. This comp all about kind of global presence, evading with the Olaf, supporting with the TF and cross-map Senna plays. And then here, just going straight at him with 5th pick, counter pick of the Lucian straight up into Ryoma.
Yeah.
Has the Flame Horizon now. He is monstrously ahead. And it is not only more fun to watch teams that can threaten these crazy picks, but it's also really tough to draft against them, because you have to pay respect to so many of these niche picks. If they are willing to bring out these kind of more solo queue counters, things that you're not playing against a lot in competitive. When's the last time he played Galio versus Lucian? wasn't in competitive any time recently. So it's one of those things that you have to have the confidence, and EG is showing, yeah, we're willing to do it.
Really cool to see. Yeah, I think there are always like a lot of what people consider safe blind picks. Like, oh, they don't have any bad matchups. Like, well, it's because no one's willing to play them, right? Like, Gwen was a safe blind forever because her hard counters were Jackson Riven. Yeah, no one plays those outside of China, so they're safe blinds in, you know, 3 of the 4 best leagues in the world. And, you know, then you get to try it elsewhere. But now we got to play up the top side. Impact, he's going to be a zombie pretty soon. No, not even that. Able to walk away. Thanks very much. Sorry, buddy. Down to the bottom side, we have a kill once again on the Gwen. We're going to have a Galio just to get to the side in time to defend the base, but it is a 4 versus 5 as Impact even TP's in for a bit more. The wave is down. It's going to take a little bit of time here as the cannon slowly picks away at it.
I love the TP in with 10% health. He's just not afraid at all. Grandpa Impact here with the Zoomers to finish off the game.
There we go, a knock up again on an Impact, not gonna matter here. Inspired to the front line, gonna look for Iconic, gonna find that kill and almost a solo, but Danny claims it. Would like a penta, it's not gonna happen. No flashes in for the Rocket, there's the double, there's the Nexus, and the 2-0 for Evil Geniuses.
Really well played by EG, looking like, I would say, our most dominant team throughout lock-in.
Yeah.
You know, I think you predicted them as the winner. A lot of us had them as a finalist, but clearly I think they have to be considered as one of the big frontrunners now. Looking really, really good. 6-0 across all the games. It's shaping up to maybe be a date with TL, potentially, who has also been one of those strong teams. But
or Dignitas.
Yeah, or Dignitas. There's obviously a lot of teams still to play, so a lot can happen, but I've been really pleasantly surprised by how quickly EG feels like they've gelled, right?
Yeah.
Because yes, this is a team that people were predicting to do very well. Yes, they have really strong players, but a lot did change, right, for this team. It is a rookie mid laner. It is bringing in a new support to play with your kind of star rookie from last year, bringing over a different jungler with a very different style of play, and everything just kind of seems to be working pretty much immediately.
Yeah, really cool to see. Well done to EG. Of course, hey, by the way, stay tuned. CLG Cloud9 is next, so more matches today. But Evil Geniuses take the series and their spot in semifinals against the winner of that match later today. We are now joining the State Farm Analyst Desk to take a look at that incredible performance here in Lock-In.
Definitely right on that one there, Freak. Incredible performance out of EG and continues to look even better as they move through this lock-in tournament. 2-0 win in the quarterfinal here over the Golden Guardians. This team hasn't dropped a game yet. They look better and better by the day.
Yeah.
I did like, to a degree, some of the stuff that Golden Guardians showed us today. I think some cool compositional things done, even if it didn't net them the victory. I like to see teams trying stuff like that.
Yeah, and I mean, once again, we see the Diana. She is incredibly strong. I actually did like the Galio Camille picks. Obviously, Lucian, great response to that. Even though I didn't think Ryoma played particularly badly, he obviously got hard shoved in that lane. Which is not exactly where you want to be as a Galio making plays. But I don't mind this composition. I do think that EG had good responses in the Lulu and the Lucian.
That's what I like about EG as a team right now is they're not afraid to draft a little bit more aggressively than some teams often do. They have a lot of times where both times that they've taken TF, they've done like a 3 winning lane strategy that's going to get outscaled, but they just want to stomp you before then. And then here, like you said, there's other counter picks you could look at. The Lucian is a more volatile one, but Jojo Pune and the rest of the team are confident that like, hey, we're going to smash you.
To me, made all that much cooler by the fact that we've already seen an Ezreal Karma this weekend pop the hell off, right? And talk about the strength of those two champions paired together. So to have Golden Guardians be able to draft that and for EG to still find a way to overcome it, very cool.
Exactly. I mean, it's just fun when you see the first pick come through and everyone's like, yeah, you know what? It's working out. Starting to dominate lanes that we've been afraid of.
Yo, Impact. Let's go, baby.
Pretty damn good what he's able to do. He's been the best top laner so far this tournament, so it's been fun to see that. And of course, like, this was the one opening that Golden Guardians had, especially since the double kill came through, so it's really nice to see that Stixxay was able to come out strong from that.
And I think this is where you see EG are obviously, to Mark's point, they don't mind playing aggressively. That was a little bit of an overreach, and they got punished for it there. They also get the steal. GG also gets the steal here by executing their comp well.
Yeah, I think Loki Iconic had a decent game. Multiple times he's found and engaged to try and set the team up right at the beginning. You saw that one there on that punish, gets the steal here. And then there was the one, I'm not sure if it's in this replay package, but at the Dragon fight where you got this fat combo to potentially win the game. It's right here, I think. And this is like, if you had a little bit more gold in your pocket, Maybe a little bit different of a build path as well. You can discuss that. But if they had a little bit more damage, you just blow up a number of people on EG's side and insta-win this fight.
Yeah, Raz, we were kind of talking about this a little bit. An interesting idea with the Diana build path, right? There's logic, at least from our perspective, in needing to be, to some degree, that primary engage for the team, like we just saw, having to be able to jump in, give the Galio the target to come in over the top. Okay, maybe I want some tankiness to be able to live for a second or two. But yeah, now you lose that threat onto targets like the Jinx because the damage just isn't there. So maybe it was a gold issue, maybe it was a slight compositional issue. Either way, I agree with Azael midway through the game. Golden Guardians tested them, pushed them, even though it was a 2-0.
Yeah, and so I think this is just for them. They already know, great experience for them to even be here to begin with, right? While Golden Guardians as an organization is like waiting to get Pride Stalker and everything, getting their full roster here and ready for the split to begin, their academy was able to not only qualify here, of course, off the backs of TSM Academy, but then get some real good reps here. So great for the team.
So while we celebrate Evil Genius's continued undefeated run here in the lock, and we also have to celebrate our MasterCard Player of the Week, and it comes from Evil Genius's. It's inspired in the jungle. His LCS debut, he popped the hell off. And just as a reminder to all of you at home who are thinking, wait a second, isn't there another series left to play in this weekend? How are they already giving out this award? This Player of the Week is specifically for the group stage. For last weekend's 3 days of play and the first day of play this weekend.
Yeah, and when we're talking about like the brains on EG, obviously they all like to play aggressive. They seem to have a very similar way of how they want to play, but it's Inspired and Vulcan that we're looking at. Inspired had a phenomenal group stage. I think he was instrumental in setting up all of these plays around their damage dealers. And going forward, this is what I'm looking at, right? Because if we're talking about GG versus EG in this, to bring it back to this game, what made the difference is that when EG set up plays, they're always thinking ahead or how it relates to objectives that they want to take. Whereas I do think Golden Guardians had a couple of really good combinations that got off. But outside of the Rift Herald steal, you didn't see a lot coming after that in terms of, okay, what's next on the map?
And it's a pretty damn powerful statement for a player who's an MVP in Europe, comes over to this region, questions on, of course, like, oh, now the team's coming together, a lot of young pieces, of course, like, how's it going to turn out? Instantly,
right?
Good. MVP of the week.
MVP of a split, straight to MVP of the first week. We'll see if he can keep that kind of performance going all season long. For now, though, let's join Jojo Pyun and LaTigress for the Verizon postgame interview.
Thank you, Dash. So happy to welcome back JoJo here for the Verizon postgame interview after an Evil Genius's victory. Hey, that was your first best of series here in the LCS. Tell me about it and how you're able to execute in such a dominating fashion.
I mean, it felt great winning. We just did our best. You know, we planned well. We just did everything according to plan, so it felt good. And, you know, it feels good to win a best of three, so yeah.
It's nice when you do see that evil plan really come to full fruition within the series, but some things you can't plan, like a pentakill from your bot laner. What was the team's reaction when that went down in game number 1?
I mean, everyone was just screaming. It was pretty hype. I think that's his first pentakill in the LCS, so, you know, it felt great. Everyone was happy. It just felt insane.
I know Azael was talking on the cast about, hey, he is tied with Faker in career pentakills in the season. So there you go. That's how you really make a statement here. I know that you have been making a lot of statements on Twitter. For instance, on the 16th, making your claim that you weren't going to drop a single game within the entirety of this tournament. You stayed true to that so far. But if there was a team that you thought could give Evil Geniuses the biggest run for their money, who would it be?
I think, like, all of us were thinking 100 Thieves at first, but I guess they lost to Dignitas, so, I mean, I don't think we're really scared of anyone now. I think it was either us or 100 Thieves that would have won the tournament, and since they're out, I think it's only us, so.
Yeah, so no more.
I don't think we're going to drop a game, so, yeah.
You're not worried about Dig after taking down 100 Thieves?
I mean, I don't know. When we versed them, like, it was pretty easy. It was just a sweep, but maybe they improved. It looks like they improved, so, yeah.
Definitely made some changes to really show out in that performance. You do have to wait to find out who your next official opponent is going to be, though, between Cloud9 and CLG. How do you think that match is going to go down next?
I mean, I think Cloud9 should win, but, you know, there was an upset between 100 Thieves and Dig, so you never know.
We're here for Upset City. I like to reside in that territory. Jojo Pion, thank you so much for joining me for the interview.
Thank you.
A nice little preview of maybe what is to come here in the LCS lock-in. Stay tuned. On the other side of the break, we will be bringing you Cloud9 taking on CLG. See you there.
Welcome back to Assist of the Day, presented by State Farm. Looking to lock in a definitive lead, Evil Geniuses took control of mid lane, where Vulcan was able to alley-oop JoJo's Corki package to smother Bjergsen and fight their way through Team Liquid.
Down though for the Dragon as we got a flash engage, a dive, a package, and a complete shutdown. Bjergsen is dead, but so is Danny. 1 for 1 to the back lane. We got the takes going.